gosh, I'm here. I'm here. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'll be here soon. What? Hello. So my tummy is still a bit all messed up. My tummy's all messed up still. Hi. Also, do you like the little finger drew? I didn't have time to draw something amazing today. So I thought I'd draw just the best painted model of all. If you know the best painted model of all time, this should hopefully be a good enough homage to it. Hi, Bob. Hi, Anthony. How you both doing? No, I'm not stinky. You got the jackpot! Oh my gosh! Hi, Vince. No, not banana. Oh wait, you can't. Can't turn me into banana. I got caught up talking about what is the best. Like the best flyers. Sorry, I'm moving some brushes about. Oh no, some of the brushes.
That's the best art I've ever seen on this channel.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's the best. You recognize the best painted model of all time, right? Like you definitely recognize it. You better do, because it's amazing. The machine was nice and toasty. Oh goodness. But we're talking about, like, you know, flyers that have lots of guns and stuff. What's it like? Oh yeah, I also broke a model. I was looking at one of my models and I dropped it and I tried catching it in my legs and I accidentally crushed it. It's like, no, caught it too harsh. I caught it too hard and I got crushed. Well, I fixed it. It's only its arm came off. And he got fixed. It's all fixed up. Damn to be that model. Darn! Like, why would you want to smash? Yeah, it was this one. I accidentally crushed his arm and it fell off. His arm fell off. Yeah. But look, we painted these guys. So what have I done? I've painted last night. I wanted to do more today, but I kept getting distracted. Also, my tummy was really, really bad. Painted for eyes. I used the new brush I got for Warhammer brush. And honestly, it was surprisingly good for painting the eyes. Yeah. I don't know what to feel about that golden thing, though. You know, that bit there. I think maybe it's best just to put it back into black. Or maybe I need to go over with some more gold. I don't know. I want to do this in green, this tube. I want to put some skeleton hard on this, skeleton hard on that, some apothecary white on this. We need to put some shyish purple down here, tiny bit of gene stealer there, major's purple over it. There's a purity seal here. We need to do some Mephiston red. We need to do some grass colours. This was too nice. You did your best, but we still love and support you in your decision to be a professional moddy painter. Now become a cat. No! There's my Down Horrendous comment this week. Down Horrendous. Wait, you did your best, but we still love and support you. Wait, are you saying my models aren't very well painted? But they're not the best. There's still a lot of work to do on them. Still a lot of work to do on them. We need to do for... After we do for skeleton hard on this, we'll want to get some wraith bone on them. Want to get some wraith bone highlight in here. We want to do some Agrax Earth Shade on the gold and the brass, then highlight with some full white copper. And then we need to do the highlights on the blue here, maybe some Lone Oil. And then we fix any mistakes that way where we went over the lines onto the black. And then provide the wear and tear on the black. Which I'm trying to figure out what to do instead. Usually I'll just do rust grey all over the model, which I think looks okay, but I think it only looks okay. Maybe I should try using a thinner brush when I apply it. Maybe I should apply it more leniently. I mean, but this one I didn't apply as much of it, and I'm not a big fan of how it turned out in the end. Like, it looks okay, but maybe I should choose a different
I was
colour.
gonna say I was communicating from the Shadow Realm, but I was summoned. Anyway, chat isn't on screen. Blessed be the
chat's
scuff.
not on screen. Oh, it's not on screen. What happened with that? Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Let's pop out first. I mean, I don't have chat over here, actually, so that's a good thing. Live chat. Control C. It should have been on screen. Browser 2. Oh, that's why I just didn't. There we go. Now I have to just reload that. Go down here what people have been commenting. In the Warhammer channel. You should run 3 hecatons. Oh, what? Why is this not reloading? There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. It works. It works. I've got chat up everywhere now. Live chat. Oh, wait, put this into live chat. Hi, hi, hi. Let me be a little bit of passive-aggressive parent. No! Yeah, chat's not on screen. We got it. We got it. It's fine. Hide. Oh, by the way, do you want to see for new cool stuff? For new cool stuff.
Let me be a little bit a passive-aggressive parent. Moohaga.
No, don't be a passive-aggressive parent. Oh yeah, Chronicles of Ruin. More of a little story from Siege in the Age of Sigmar. Oh my gosh, it's long. Oh my gosh, it's a full novel. Then we got new rules for Commissar Yarrick. Let's zoom in on them. Ooh. So few champions of Imperium inspire the common soldiery, as does Commissar Sebastian Yarrick. He can also tear a swath through his enemies, delivering thunderous blows with his trophy power claw, mowing them down with his stormbolt and delivering laser blast with his ocular augmetic. Yeah, the Baelai doesn't have pistol anymore, which is a bit sad. I hoped it would do. It kind of makes sense if you don't want him to become, like, devastating in melee. But he's got 2 melee profiles, one with more attacks at damage 1 and a much lower strength, and then one at a higher attack. Let's say he's attacking into some gaunts, though. 5+ armor save, toughness 3. 4 attacks, hits on 2s, wounds on 2s, no armor save. So that would be 20 over 6 get in. And then 100 over 36 kill. So roughly, he'll get roughly 3 kills using that. The power sword will roughly get 5 kills, 5 hits. And wounding on 3s, 10 over 3. Just over 3. Okay, so power sword will be slightly better against Hormagaunts and Guardsmen than for power claw. Yeah. Against Votan, for power claw will just be better than for power sword. Against... I'm already toxic by following my grandfather Nurgle. Your grandfather, no, don't follow Nurgle. Hi, Clyde. Hi, Lord Grandmaster. How be you? Wait, hat. Why didn't hat work? Yeah, I'll take off my... Right, there we go. Here we go. Hat. So I'm leaning forward so the hat doesn't show very well. Yeah, Baelai. Yeah, against most threats, the Power Claw is just going to be better than the Power Sword. And even against things like Gaunts, the Power Sword is just going to be moderately better against something like a Gaunt. Follow Singe's wake. No, don't follow Singe! Maybe this will be a thing like, do you know where the Lash Whip warrior now has extra attacks with his Lash Whip? Maybe his Power Sword will give him extra attacks. I doubt it, but at the moment, the Power Sword profile just seems kind of pointless. It is not enough attacks to be worth it over the Power Claw against 99% of threats he'll face. The Baelai is pretty good. Hits on 2, strength 6, AP -2, damage D3 +1. He could, and it's got precision, so he could potentially just take out like characters pretty, not reliably, but pretty often. How do I do? Oh, it's Mega Jump. Yay! Stormbolter, pretty. It's just a standard Stormbolter, which is pretty good on a Guardsman. But yeah, his profile all in all is nothing amazing. You can get back up on a 2+ with 3 wounds remaining. In your command phase, you can select one of these abilities up here.
I put hat on cat.
Oh, you put the hat on the cat? I'll take my hat off here then. And accidentally put flame eyes on. Okay, so the counter strategist is pretty good. Basically, if an enemy moves within 12 inches, he can have his entire squad or another squad nearby just shoot it.
How are you doing, Cupcat?
Or charge it. I'm doing okay. I'm not a cat though. I'm a cupcake. Oh gosh. So this is the first order issued by a unit from your army this phase. Oh yeah, he can also do a super order that can affect multiple units nearby. Although keeping multiple units within 6 inches of one another sounds like a good way to, you know, accidentally doom your squad, doom them all. To, like, a Crusader squad, a Con Berserker charge, multi-charge. While a friendly estimated arm unit is within 6 inches of this model, you can re-roll a battle shock and leadership test taken for that unit. Yeah, and it's just, you only get one of these abilities per turn. So it's... There you go, there's the hat. I'm a cupcake. So yeah, all in all, he's okay. He's nothing amazing. I mean, he does hit a lot harder than most guardsmen will do, but honestly, a command squad will probably still hit harder than him. But yeah, they've got a bunch of stuff just talking about it here. It's pretty decent. Have the new Via boys been revealed? Oh, look at that. So cool. They're doing a lot of glowy stuff on this guy. Wires exploding everywhere, lightning. Pretty nice model. I've ever got a Solar Space Marine model that no one likes. that much we can pretty much guess.
Does the cat come at 2 color schemes?
Mom,
no, not the website. My eyes. My frosting is melting.
Hi, Ireland. How you doing? Oh, my mistake. Does the cat come in 2 colour schemes? Yeah, there's a boss cat as well. Although you can only bring up the boss cat when I'm in my boss model. Like, if my boss model is my main model for the stream, then it will default to the boss cat. I don't think I have any commands set up to turn me into the boss cat. Yeah, so that's pretty cool stuff. But for something else, I want to look at... Here we go, win rates! Yeah, if we go by, you know, let's go. Darn it, adverts. That's not fun. Wait, I've got something else I can do here. Dun dun dun. Yeah, and then go by February 1st. Yeah, okay, then I can go down here and be like, yeah, there you go. I wanted to look at the win rate stuff. And Aldari are absolutely sucking at the moment. Look at that 43%. So Games Workshop wants everything mostly to be within 2% or 50%, or 2.5% or 50%. Although they do accept deviations of up to 5%. If it's over 5% deviation from 50%, then it's like, yeah, they don't want that. So they don't want somebody like Necrons over here having a win rate of over 55%. And they don't want the Eldari down here at 43%. So for not for elves to live. I know. And also look at Black Templar. The amount of games you've had is really falling off. Oh. Like if we go by the amount of games played, Imperial Agents obviously least. Gene Stealer Cults is pretty low down. So is Death Watch. Admech is really low. Death Watch has a really good win rate though. Grey Knight's pretty low, decent win rate. Decent enough anyway. Drukhari, quite low. Quite a good win rate actually, yeah. I think it's quite good. It's not bad. Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight is also surprisingly low. I've had Black Templars. Oh, and the win rate's not even that good. Look at that. Look at that. They're not in the good 2.5% area. Wait.
Wait. Go back. How many factions were worse than the Agent's Supplement?
Orcs are worse. Space Wolves are worse. Chaos Space Marines are worse. And Eldari are worse. That's 3 whole factions. Or Space Wolves. Yeah, it's all the melee factions that are super low down. Other than Eldari. Eldari are really good shooting. I think it's because the past couple of months is when you had all the Corsair. I think this is potentially skewed by... Oh gosh, my boss model is a bit broken here. Just give me a moment. Hi. Yeah. I think that Eldari are potentially skewed a bit by new people picking up Eldari and playing them. And also by the fact that they had the Corsair releases and Corsairs still kind of suck. Like, Corsairs are fine. You can make an army out of them. It just sucks compared to making an army out of Eldari out of literally anything else. So yeah, you're going to have lots of new people playing Eldar who are going to be lowering that win rate. And because it's not getting many games to begin with, that's going to skew it quite heavily. But also Corsair. Corsairs just suck. You can't turn me into a cupcat immediately. It's got to line up. It's got to line up. Turning me to a cupcat from after turning me into a boss model won't bring out the boss cupcat. I have to be my main model for the stream. So my default model has to be the boss model. Yeah. There's no way to turn me into the boss cat otherwise. Maybe I'll add the command to turn me into boss cat. But look at Black Templars. So if you look here, it's mostly just melee armies that are the lowest. Orcs, Space Wolves. Chaos Space Marines are also kind of shooty, to be honest. But also they had the Red Corsairs. Again, for Red Corsair, new models that came out aren't really all that great.
No. My perfect scheme.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Adeptus Mechanicus is... Honestly, they're pretty low down as well. Let's look at offer. Let's look at the top. So where's World Eaters? World Eaters actually... But the World Eaters have some of the best shooting units right now. They've got the Land Raider that can rapid fire its last cannons. And they've got the really cheap Forge Fiends. If you look at a lot of the competitive World Eater lists, they're mostly shooty lists. On top of this, World Eaters do benefit from the Juggernaut Lord joining squads of World Eaters, allowing them to... Calm Berserkers, allowing them to move at 10 inches and to move through terrain, which gives them much better movement speed. And allows them to actually get into melee compared to other armies. Space Marines are pretty low down, but Space Marines are the default new faction, so it's always skewed by new players wanting to play Space Marines. Also, just the sheer amount of units available to them often means that players make unoptimal armies. I'm disappointed now you will become a worm. It's a promise. Yeah, but first I'm going to turn into a cupcat, and then I have to turn into a worm after that, because it queues up all the commands. But yeah, when it comes to, I was interested by who's the most played though. Wait, this isn't good. That's not showing who's the most played. Space Marines are clearly the most played. What? Okay, whatever. The weird things are happening here. The Space Marines are the most played. Necrons second most played. Apparently, Tyranids are third most played. See, people are playing Tyranids. If only Talan was here to show it. Imagine clicking for factions arrow. Oh, that's the factions. I thought that was like the arrow for games, arrow for faction points. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm so silly. Okay. Tyranids. Oh, at the bottom. Oh, see, people play Tyranids. They're one of the starter factions. Necrons are surprisingly popular. I never realised how popular Necrons are. Tower also really popular. I think partly some of this is going to be modified by win rate. Am I going to be changed into a cupcat now? I should have been changed into a cupcat. Just give me... I'll fix it for you. I need to change how my commands work. There you go. I'm getting head patted to death. My patience is eternal. There you go. Bring Cuptle back. Cupworm. I'll get... Now it will just line up for Cupworm. Oh, gosh. So yeah. I think some of this is going to be skewed by the most played and by the win rate. Because most of the people are going to be using these apps and stuff. Are going to be people who play more competitively as well. So you're going to have a lot of people who switch to ones that have good win rates.
Just cool, Bob.
Like
Maximus Decimus Meridius. Cause he will have his vengeance in this life for the next.
I played you again. No, I'm turning to the Cupworm afterwards. And then Tau. Chaos Space Marines are obviously popular. Death Guard are obviously popular. Also, their win rate is surprisingly low down. Astra Militarum, obviously popular. Dark Angels and Blood Angels. They're both significantly more popular than the Black Templars right now. Which is surprising. Imperial Knights. Yeah, most of the factions seem to be within this 4,000, just 5,000-6,000 game thing. Adeptus Custodes very popular. Adeptus Custodes are currently more popular than Orcs. What? No, not allowed. But how are Necrons so popular? I never realised just how popular Necrons actually are. Like, I know they're the starter faction for, you know, 9th edition. I guess they are relatively cheap to get into in terms of, and relatively easy to paint, so very beginner friendly. And they're getting quite a lot of lore recently. Like a best genius would do, you can't comprehend my ways. I'm sorry. Oh, but yeah, Chaos Demons. I just found it interesting looking at this, but who's got the best win rate? Yeah, Necron's best. Chaos Demons are obviously still up there. Adeptus Custodes, obviously up there. Death Watch is really high up on the win rate. I mean, with so few games, I mean, maybe, you know... Thousand Suns, Blood Angels. How become Blood Angels are so much better than like every other Space Marine faction? Despite Death Watch. This just tells me that, you know, Space Marines aren't bad. It's the players. Because even I do not know what my next move would be. Me neither. No, I mean, some of this actually will be a bit for players. Like, if you're playing Black Templars, the best way to play them is as a shooting army that can also do really good melee. Not as just a melee-only army, but most people who play them will want to do melee-focused. Same goes with Space Wolves. And a lot of people, when they build their Legionnaires and stuff for Chaos Space Marines, they build them as melee variants. Forgetting that the melee variant of Legionnaires isn't really super good. And if you're equipping your Legionnaires with heavy weapons and stuff to sit on objectives and give fire support, you might as well just give them bolt guns and other ranged weapons to give more fire support. And they're actually generally best like that. In part because they actually have a chance of, you know, shooting up your enemy. I think they're still really good in melee anyway, because they get 3 attacks each. The way Space Marine faction is balanced by the players, but the majority of players are absolutely incompetent. True. Who is above 50%? So currently, the ones above 50% of... Actually, there's very few factions above 50%. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factions above 50%. And this means that most people who are playing are probably just playing against one of these factions up here. Like, in terms of games, you do have the second most played faction. And the rest are, like, Tower really high played. Adeptus, Custodes, and Blood Angels too. Our worm now! So, yeah. Well, then you got the Blooming Space Marines here. Wait, why was there a worm for, like, 6 seconds? That shouldn't have been how it worked. Give me a moment. Yeah, that should have been 5 minutes. It's not unlocked. Yeah, Necrons are definitely up at the top. Yeah, you always will get certain factions and so on will be balanced by effectively just people being new to them, people not being very good with them. I know Blood Angels and Deathwatch does have some really, really cool units and stuff it can do.
Transformation magic reserves exhausted. I'm so done with this.
True. Hi, Alec Norona, sorry. How you doing? Just got here, don't miss anything. No, we've been looking at Yavik. Yavik's new rules are pretty okay. The new Weird Boy model, and I just thought it'd be fun to look at some of the win rates and how many games are being played of each faction. Yeah, it's all pretty decent, actually. That's a decent win rate. Oh, yeah, I imagine most people would have to be playing against these for only so few factions to be above 50% and the rest to be so far below. Yeah, I know Deathwatch does have some really unfair stuff going on. Like, I've built my own list of Deathwatch just for fun. And my goodness, you could do some incredibly unfair stuff that basically just meant you can't touch me, but I can wipe out all of your characters. I literally just watched a short about Yavik's new data sheet. It's pretty good. I say it's pretty good. It's fair. It's fair. It's very... It's not amazing. Not bad. It's funny that he can get back up. Blood Angels, though, I don't remember them having anything other than Mephiston, who is unfair. Like, most of her stuff just seems kind of balanced. I mean, the best melee unit are jump pack units, which is always a good thing. So I guess there's that. Where's the Photon? Yeah, the Photon are above 50%, so they're doing really well right now. I can see why they want to, you know, strengthen melee, though, with Necrons, predominantly a shooty army, Adeptus Custodes. They are a melee army, but they're also very good at shooting. Chaos Demons, they just ignore whatever the rules currently are and just give their own rules instead. Deathwatch, very shooty army. Thousand Suns, very shooty army. Blood Angels can be a very melee focused army, but it is very fast. Tau, Leagues of Photon, both shooty armies. Knights are just knights. Gene Stealer Cult's mostly a shooty army. Tyranids. Tyranids and Gene Stealer Cults are both really good objective playing armies, actually. That's probably where their strength is. I know Tyranids, you have to play objectives when you're playing them because you're not going to do a good time if you want time to table your opponent.
Screw the rules, I have warp shenanigans, also money.
You have warp shenanigans, also money. Yeek! Screw them rules. Also, hi, Risanari? Reese? Anorin. I'm going to call you Reese. Hi, from Britain. But yeah, Adeptosauritas, shooty and melee army world eaters. Mostly a melee army, but they do have some seriously cheap shooty units. My riot attempt was nuked by YouTube. No! So yeah. Adeptus Mechanicus though are really low down. And they are a shooty army. I think some of their stuff is overpointed for what it is though. And they've got Adeptus Mechanicus has some really bad data sheets. The new data sheet is not too bad for them. Not data sheets, detachments, sorry. Wait, what am I being turned into now? Wait, what was I being turned into then? Why did I appear and disappear again? What? Disappear and reappear again? But yeah. And then Orcs, melee army, Space Wolves, melee army, Eldari, melee army. Many people play Chaos Space Marines as melee, Black Templars, melee. Space Marines are a shooty army. Again, they're going to have a lot of new players playing them. So yeah, I'm surprised to see not Dark Angels, Death Guard that low down. I think we save now. The queue is empty. The queue is empty. Yes! Yay! Okay, I'm going to have to take my head pats off.
I think we are saved now. The queue is empty.
Yeah, do it for head pats, Cuptle. Do one for head pats. There you go. There you go. There we go. Oh, but we got to paint models now. We've once again spent most of the beginning of the stream just talking about stuff we need to paint. Okay, I think I need to do the bronze on these guys actually first. I think that's going to be my main goal. Not the eyes. Not the eyes. Don't poke me in the eyes. Water. Okay, where's a good brush? I want to do small stuff. Actually, let's get the Games Workshop brush again. It's been pretty okay. I want Balthasar Gold. No, that's Fulbright Copper. Balthasar Gold. Balthasar Gold. Apparently, if it's got a white top, that means it's got actual metal in it. If it's got a top like this, that means it doesn't have actual metal in it. Don't burn down the bakery. I solve a mystery. Is a Cupcon banned a B word, so we can't do it in the bakery? Burn for bakery. I didn't ban that word. It must be YouTube doing it. Don't burn the bakery down. Wait, is this light on? It was not on. Oh my gosh, that makes it brighter. Boom, no, na 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 na. Okay. Magnifying glass. I'd forgotten to get you out, but not to worry. It is time we paid you. Oh gosh, but me. I'll find a way. You're working on your basis for your boy rats. Nice. You're the machine god. Don't get into my machine. You're not the Omnisire. Pray to the Omnisire.
So let that pans fall and the pots boil. Though it takes the last of my filling, I shall have my revenge. And if I can't, let the bakery burn.
Yeah, don't let the bakery burn. No, with no heresy allowed. Inquisitor Cupcake told you no heresy allowed. The start of every stream, Inquisitor Cup. What is the one thing Inquisitor Cupcake tells you at the start of every stream? No heresy. What are you doing? Heresy.
Who is this Inquisitor Cupcake you speak of?
Oh, the one that comes into chat. And you know, and tells you about cooldowns. Wait, there's even an emote. Watch this. Yeah, see? Get sworn by the Inquisition. I forgot to take my hay fever tablets today. Splash me. Yeah. There we go. We are now painting a beautiful model. Every day is a day for heresy. Hello people, I'm super busy today, man. I love watching the ads before a stream. I apologise. I didn't put the ads there. It's YouTube. And you know what they've not done? They've not increased ad revenue for like me or anything. They're just like, hey, we're putting more ads into your stream. You don't get to have a say about this. And no, we're not increasing your ad revenue for it. Sucks. Now make them pay taxes. Yeah. No, this is how you get your toys to pay taxes. You become a YouTuber, and yeah, you have them as expenses, and so you know you don't have to pay tax because it counts as a business expense. Beautiful. Asa. Hi. Dianita Kaiwai. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Dianita. Do. We're painting bronze. We're painting bronze. It's the whole bronze. It's the whole cool world. They are so shiny. Do. Followers of Saint should be destroyed. Bonita, hello, Ale Joel programmers. How you doing? I can only speak English. I don't understand. That one. Other languages. There we go. Okay. 18 models. Bronze. Are you going to get any vehicles for your army? And if so, what ones? Oh, I've already got 2 Mastodons. Warhound Titan. I need to build the Thunderhawk still. Move that away. What else is there? I've got 2 normal Land Raiders built, a Land Raider Redeemer, a Land Raider Crusade. Oh, it's a 2 Land Raider. I think I got 2 Land Raider Crusaders built. I've got 3 drop pods, an Impulsor, a Gladiator built. But there's plans to get a lot more vehicles, a lot more, because I've got 40,000 points of these guys. Forget that's like the army that we're planning to have. Oh, I've also got a Kratos built up. I've got another Kratos that needs to be built still. Oh, we've got the Fellblade. What's another vehicle? Oh, we got 2 Invicta Warsuits, 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts built up, 1 Ballista Dread to build. We've got 2 more Ballista Dreads. We've got 1 built, 2 more that need to be built, and then we got 1 Redeemer built from a... That's a 9 Dread. And then another Redemptor that we want to build from a... Well, we got just 2 more normal Redemptors we want to build up. Do. I undercoated for Mastodons and wanted to paint them a while ago, but unfortunately, when I was priming them, I messed it up. Because I was going to prime like part from black, part from white using tape, but I didn't leave it long enough between priming. Hi, Douglas. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday too. My Monday's going okay.
Gotta love the Warhound in the Scout detachment. The Pick Panther theme needed more percussion, to be sure, to be sure.
Yeah, it did. Look. It's called a Warhound Scout Titan. Where else is it gonna go other than the Scout detachment? You know? I don't think it's even called a Scout detachment. I think it's called a Stealth detachment. I'm gonna paint it so it looks like it's got like camo field in place. That's like dissipating around it. That's the aim. I'm going to be painting these guys. Then I want to paint for mastodons. I just need to find the time for the mastodons, and then I'll move on to the Warhound Titan. Then we've got the people want the Terminators to be painted, so we'll move on to the Terminators after that. Potentially. Although I do want to kind of take a break and paint some other stuff. I've got some neck ones that I've been trying to undercoat. That I think I've got a good quick colour scheme to paint from. I've been making a banner for my Morcrex space on my family quest. Ooh, that's cool. A chameleon shielding that breaks as soon as you hit it with a hammer. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I should put like an enemy on the base who's just completely unaware that there's this chameleon Warhound Titan standing above it. Oh, I had an idea for painting my Mechanicus colours. Of going with the same, do you know where I use blue on the guns and the weapons of these guys and the cloaks? Going for the same colour scheme, going for the same ultramarine blue or McCrag blue, whatever it is. And highlighting it with Calgar and Baharoth blue. For all of like the Skitarii cloaks and weapons with do you know, the same sort of thing, creamy colours on the inside. I think that would be really cool. And it would also make sense why these guys, you know, they have the blue weapons and stuff, because it represents the connection to the Admech fleet. I don't know which Admech fleets, you know, would be blue. Like, aren't Admech usually the colour of, like, the Forge World they come from?
Cupcakes do not say such things.
This active camo system is definitely somewhere in the body, but trust me, when that pebble slightly inconveniences your toe, it will shatter. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about buying, do you know, one of those, have you seen those force shield breaking stuff? Like 3D printed thing where it's like a force field and it's like a missile hit for force field, it's like rippling out. I think about getting like one of them and attaching it to the top of a Warhound Titan. And then everywhere under where that is and like close to it, you've got like the normal colour scheme showing. Except then in like a circle around it, I'm going to have like a blue line. A white line, and it's going to be like blue to either side of it. And then it's going to have an active camo colour scheme under that, so it's all going to be like grey and stuff. And most of the feet are going to be like, you know, uncovered. Hi, Nanofate! Oh, like what you usually see on Tau. Yeah, kind of. I'm representing like its void field getting hit. I mean, it would actually technically be a bit too far away from it because I believe void fields, the reason like they're ranged only shielding is because when they first came into play, I think if you were within 12 inches of somebody of a Titan, you could just shoot and hit a Titan just directly into its body. But if you're over 12 inches away, you have to first get through the void fields. And the void fields acted like just weak armor. So you had like 3 or 4 hull points. Oh well, it depends how big your Titan is. Bigger Titans had more void fields. So you had so many hull points which represented how strong your void fields were, and then your void field has like I think it was the equivalent of 12 all-round armor. So, which wasn't bad, wasn't great. It was relatively easy to take out. Like a last cannon could easily take a void field out. But every turn you could potentially bring back like D3 void fields. So it was really hard to get through them. But if you just got really close with like a bunch of melter guns, just ignore the void field entirely and just blast it to pieces. So technically, if I got one of them, I'd have to have like a really, really long strand that's like 12 inches long, representing the void field getting hit. But we can just ignore that and instead pretend the void field is much closer to the body. Which, I mean, it might as well just be closer to the body. Yeah, in Titanicus, voids only work if something is outside 2 inches when it attacks. Within 2 inches considered melee range though, so you usually shooting at reduced hit chance. Makes sense. I wonder how it works for Imperialis though. Oh, Gate of Bones was really, really interesting with void fields. And I really, really liked it because it made a lot of sense of like just Warhammer in general. In which star parts and certain buildings and stuff have these giant void fields on them. And they're absolutely massive. Like, you got a star part here, and it's like a massive building that can be seen from space. And the void field ends like miles away over here. Well, maybe not miles, but hundreds of meters away. Over here, and then over here. So, and the void field is really, really strong. It can withstand orbital attacks pretty easily. Underneath it, it's got orbital weaponry, so anti-orbit weaponry. So you can't just have your ship trying to destroy the void field, because if you do, your ship's going to get destroyed. But it meant that, like, the enemy aircraft couldn't come in, because if they did, they'd just crash against the void field. And like their own aircraft could go like out through the void field, because all they'll do is just weaken it slightly where the aircraft need to move in and out of it. So the enemy is just bombarding the void field with artillery, just constantly trying to weaken it and make it fall.
Password of the day. Rhymes. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne, bones for the bone lakes, and corn for the corn flakes.
Yay! Punchbuff died from the funny. Oh yeah, voids often protect buildings. It's really easy to put shielding because you don't have to concentrate to the space and heat dissipation for void shielding banks. True. But yeah, they often, like, star parts will often have it. But the fun thing about it is that, one, it makes it so that even though most of the planet is fallen, these places, like the star parts and other places that have these void fields and orbital weapon platforms in place, just become bastions of our defenders. Like, you can't just take it out. You need to send in ground forces to take it out. You can't rely on air forces to take it out. You might be able to fly in some planes in really, really low and slow to go through the void fields. But once they do, they're within the enemy anti-air range, and the enemy can safely shoot down your planes with their own planes. Well, relatively safely. So if you want to take out the void field, you have to march an army underneath the field. And the enemy army is obviously going to be on the other side shooting you and fighting you. But it just makes a lot of sense. It's like, why is a Tau Gnaw up? Like, the Tau Gnaw seems like an inefficient weapon until you realise that if an enemy is fighting around a star part, your mantas are useless. Your orbital fleets are useless. you have to send in infantry and tanks and stuff to take out the enemy. And if an enemy has a Titan, you need a weapon that's capable of taking down a Titan. And you can't bring a Manta with you. So you need things like Storm Surges, you need things like the Town Hall Supremacy suits. And it just makes a lot of sense of like, why is a 40k battle being fought like it's being fought? It's like, void fields. The final citadel on Thrax had multiple layers of shields, so even at the closing stages of that siege, they were shedding the shields of weeks on end just to get it to start failing. Yeah, Gate of Bones is very similar, but it's on the eyes of the defenders. And they've been holding the planet for ages. And while the enemy has, you know, space supremacy and stuff like that, due to, you know, the enemy anti-orbit weapons and stuff, and for void shields, they just can't really bring that anti-orbit stuff to be useful. They don't have any Titans, but they do have like a squad of knights, and the squad of knights keeps running out of the, you know, the protected area to take out enemy ships. Not take out enemy ships, to take out enemy formations and tank formations. And then before the enemy can respond, they just run back under the void field. And the fleet's been trying to take some pot shots at them, but each time they try, they get some pot shots taken back at them too. You know who else has space supremacy? My mother! Nice. Some 3D printed special effects that 40k in 40 minutes have on some of their models. Ooh, that look amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna look around on Etsy and stuff to find them. Joe Mama! I just imagined the White Scars Imperator Titan running across the battlefield at full sprint, and it made me laugh. I don't think White Scars can have an Imperator Titan. They can be supported by a 3-blade Imperator Titan, but they can't have one of their own. That being said, I do think there are families of Titans, you know, that they rely mostly on speed. Although that'll mostly be Warhound Titans, and I think there's another really fast Titan too. Knights are very, very fast. But yeah, I just love it when the lore actually gives you reasons for the games to actually take place. And it feels natural, like they're not like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to force it, as it were. Okay, he doesn't have any bronze on him, and he doesn't have bronze on him, so they're both good. It would be a black shield if it's a freelance Titan, yeah. And they might have a Titan that's, you know... Oh, what is it? Do you know when a house feels like it owes like a Space Marine chapter or something? They might send like one of their Titans or a company of knights to support the chapter in their things until they feel like the debt is paid. That's one of the things you often see in Warhammer with them. And sometimes you might see them, you know, decorate the Titan with some of the heraldry or colours temporarily of, you know, whoever they're supporting or in debt to. When my Titan works on commissions, my should freelance Titan. And that's not actually wrong though, as far as I'm aware. I find it really difficult to keep these brushes clean.
If you cupcake do a silly face at less there no tongue.
What new painting techniques are we doing? I'm trying to figure out. I'm not actually sure. I'm trying to figure out how to do the black armor better. Because currently, like, This is how I've done for black armor before, and I'm not a really big fan of how it turned out. So I'm thinking about maybe changing up the scheme, but I don't know how I'm going to change up the scheme for it. A debt of gratitude. Ah yes, Titans do wander after have their own legio, otherwise destroyed, so they become wanderers. Or have their legio, otherwise destroyed, to become wanderers. They usually do the same thing as knights and scrub the heraldry and forge their own. Yeah. But Titans outside of Warhounds are generally much slower than things like Knights. Knights are surprisingly fast. They don't look like they should be fast, but they are very fast. Okay, we're shaking up some Shyish purple. Okay, we're going to very carefully apply this in a U shape on the shoulder pad. Shaped like you. Also, got to try adding some Gene Stealer purple into this to see if we can give it just a bit of a better highlight. And generally, yeah, see that guy gives it good, looks pretty good. You can use your finger to help smudge and smooth out the gradient. Usually the decks of gratitude go the other way. You've got to be really happy if a literal god engine comes to help you. True, but this doesn't mean that they don't have the depths of gratitude of their own. Like, you know, there's been plenty of times when Titans and Titan worlds have been saved by the, you know, efforts and sacrifices of an Imperial Guard regiment or Space Marine chapter. And in those cases, Titans are going to be, the Titan Legios are going to be very happy to, you know, still be around and alive. Other times you get Titans being like trapped down on a planet. Like the war just went really, really badly and now they're trapped down there, they need to get off world. Alternatively, the campaign needs to be won speedily to save the Titans. Oh yeah. Also, there is another reason why things like Dinner for Supremacy suit. Why, do you know, it actually is sufficient to have Titans and stuff. Even for the Tau. It's not just a waste of resources. Might sound weird, but it's basically down to faith, because in 40k, faith is a very powerful tool. Not only for morale, often, you know, for enemy and stuff, but it's also very important because, like, a faction that has faith, their weapons are going to hit more true more often because, you know, they've been bolstered by faith. Their armor's going to hold up more often. They're going to have less malfunctions. And the enemy's going to have more malfunctions and more failures and miss more often. Thanks to loads and loads of minor miracles just happening all the time. even outside of Sisters and Battlers stuff, and Black Templars, just normal guardsmen can manifest minor miracles by the sheer power of the faith. And a Titan appearing, very strong symbol of a faith. But if your enemy brings a Titan, that turns the enemy's faith against them. So it's like, you don't need many town or battle suits, but just bringing down a single one and showing it to your enemy is enough to hit the morale, shake the faith, and now the faith is being used against them. Brah! I know White Scars don't have Titans because that would be the opposite of what they are. It's just a visual of a working church. To be honest, if they could have Titans, I imagine they would have Titans. Like, White Scars have... What do they have? They use Terminators. They do use Centurions. For official art and paint schemes for those things in White Scar colours. In fact, even Horus Heresy White Scars do have their own Terminator squad, I believe. Let me look at these guys. So let's look. Warhammer, no, Horus Heresy. Lawless Space Marine, White Scars. Once again, Legio Solari would probably love working for Scars. They're all about fast. Yeah! Let's see, White Scars, Legion Cataphracti. If this is the slowest armor in Horus Heresy that you can have, I believe. No, Saturnine is slower. Well, the Cataphracti is the second slowest. But yeah, they have, you know, characters dressed in it, special ones. And they mean, obviously, got the graph bites. I think they have, don't they have a squad? I thought they had a Terminator squad. Maybe I was incorrect. They have a Terminator character, though. So, as much as they do love speed, actually, they have two Terminator characters. This one's also in Cataphracti armor. Oh my gosh, he's like so Japanese samurai armor. It's like katana and stuff. Has this guy been watching too much anime? And what the heck's he killed? Is that a Contemptor Dreadnought? That is a Contempt. It's an Thousand Suns? No, that would be Alpha Legion. Contemptor. And it's got even the Japanese weird mask. I can't remember what they're called. I never knew White Scars had some of the stuff. I know that the Japanese. Oh, here they are. Here's the Terminator squad. Oh my gosh. The ninjas. The samurais. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Japan did have like most of what you like people imagine samurais. They imagine them kind of like this. The samurai were famed for horse archers, similar to the Mongols, although they used much bigger bows because, you know, they didn't have access to the same materials. Yeah. So I field a lot of Warhounds. I guess after that it would be what was left of Legio Tempestus. That wasn't at the Schism of Mars. Tempestus like hot dropping Warhounds because why not really? Yeah. So yeah, they the White Scars definitely do their Terminator stuff. They definitely have like dreadnoughts. I mean, Volcaface have got their own Leviathan Siege dreadnought body. So yeah, if the White Scars could have their own Titans and stuff, which no Space Marines have access to their own Titans. Was a White Scar Terminator captain that could sort of run in his Terminator suit? Is it this dude? Because this guy looks like he could run in his Terminator suit. Shin Shah, Master of the Kashyyyk. An exceptional warrior even before he ascended to the ranks of the White Scars. Shah fought along Jagatai Khan. Oh yeah! Isn't the White Scars one of the factions that they tried to turn adults into Space Marines and actually succeeded? I think they're one of the ones that did that. I think the other one might have been Space Wolves that tried to turn adults into Space Marines and semi-succeeded. Most died, but some did succeed in turning into Space Marines. You're pretty much done with painting your banner. Nice! I hope it looks super, super good. It feels it, doesn't it? He can describe by his Primarch as... He mastered the art of the hunt, so if he can describe his Primarch as one of the most formidable warriors. Or his deft fighting skills are entirely unhindered by his mighty Terminator army. Yeah, so this guy can run in his Terminator suit. By the sounds of it. And what about the Ebon Kashyyyk Terminators? It's a unique formation of White Scars. So these are the... They're not the Cataphractive, they're the other type of Terminator armor. Where the Perfection is a unique formation for White Scars Legion, where heavy protection Terminator armor is often shunned in favour of speed or mobility. Made of the Kavash, warriors seeking ritual atonement for breaches of honour. The Ebon Kashyyyk are always found at the forefront of high-intensity conflicts. Clad in black ceramite, they earn redemption by protecting their brothers, acting as shields for the more fragile contingents of the White Scar assault. Only those who survive these hazards are deemed worthy of returning to the ranks. Okay, that's interesting.
Well, technically, the Smurfs have a Legio inside the Ultramar system that has deep bonds of fealty. So, essentially, they do. Damn Smurfs.
I mean, yeah, but there's not... There's multiple factions that do have Legios, Titans, and Knights that swear fealty to them. I think the Imperial Fists also have one. Iron Warriors. Not Iron Warriors, Iron Fists do. But that's because of their close bonds to the Adeptus Mechanicus. It's basically the Adeptus Mechanicus has, you know, Titan legions, and by extension, the Iron Warriors do. Hi, Night Parade. Not Iron Warriors, Iron Hands. Ugh. Keep saying it wrong. Imperial Fists. What other factions do? I believe the... Oh, what are they called? Minotaur... Is it the Minotaurs? The one that's, do you know, basically funded by some High Lords of Terror. I believe at one point it was mentioned or something that they have, like, the support of, like, a Titan Legion. And other things. Basically, if they're funded by High Lords of Terror, whatever the High Lord has access to, the Manticores have access to it by extension. Similar to the Iron Warriors. Okay, so we've done that. Let's get some Gene Stealer Purple. I was trying to find that, wasn't I? Here it is. Shake it up. Blood Angels have worked very closely with House Hawkshroud of the past, so much so that Hawkside Knights often have the Blood Angel droplet on their heraldry. Nice! My Black Templars also have some knights that are their beck and call, basically. So my Black Templars, they're technically not Templars anymore. They are the reclaimed blades, that's it. And they are on a crusade an eternal crusade to reclaim lost relics, archaeotechnology, new technology as well that's potentially lost. And what else is there? And yeah, worlds in Imperium Nihilus. mostly northeast of the galaxy. Never east, yeah, northeast. And they work very closely with an AdMech fleet that follows them around. And
At your beck and call, Gus, you found them in a dumpster and graciously keep them in good repair.
Yeah, that's the thing. So on one of the worlds they found, it was an old world from the time of the Great Crusade, or potentially Horus Heresy. And it was just filled with, you know, destroyed knights and titans. Well, some of them were destroyed, some of them were just massively out of use. And they were effectively standing as massive statues that were being prayed to by the locals, thinking that they were gods. But locals that would accept the teachings of the Emperor were, you know, taught about the Emperor and stuff, and, you know, taught that worshipping these things is not quite right. They are god machines, but they're not gods. And a number of the knights and stuff that they could get under repair quickly. So either those that were already in working order or ones that they could just take replacement parts from another more destroyed knight or titan were put into good repair. And they, out of the Templar serfs and the locals, they basically just found a number of people who, you know, could be potentially pilot these knights. And obviously the AdMech gave them a lot of support to do this, and now these knights and the titan is like, you know, swears fealty to the Black Templars, at least until they paid their eternal debt to the Crusade Force. But, you know, creating an entirely new house and, you know, finding them and bringing them back into order and fighting for the Emperor. It's not a debt that's easy to, you know, pay off. Smells a little bit of heresy in here. Smells metallic. Must be tech heresy. Yeah! Yeah, the world was liberated. And the light of the Emperor was brought to the world. And for people who, you know, survived and were willing to accept the light of the Emperor. And for Omnisire. Is there any Forge World, by the way, that uses blue as their main colour scheme? Or is there a reason that, like, tech adepts from Mars would use blue in their colour scheme over other colours? Like, as far as I'm aware, most of the, like, Mechanica stuff, most of them wear red because most of them are from Mars. Or, you know, funded by Mars. But if they're not wearing red, then they usually wear, like, the colours and heraldry of a different Forge World. Often those Forge Worlds are red anyway, because, you know, they're directly related to Mars. Dark Angels have... Yeah, Dark Angels obviously have that sort of stuff as well. There's nothing stopping you just making your own homebrew Forge World that uses blue. Yeah, so... I don't want it to be too homebrew because one of my ideas for, like, the Reclaimed Blades is that... they're all Sons of Dawn, obviously. But... Carl... Belisarius Carl, when he made his Primaris, he left caches of Primaris space marines all across the galaxy.
So, as I understand it, there are very few Forge Worlds with not red in them, as it's a honorific to Mars. Riser is orange, Metallica is grey.
Yeah. Hi, Werewolf Game. Hello. Thanks. Good luck with whatever you're doing too. So... Oh yeah, Carl, he left, like, the Primaris Marines and Primaris Tech all across the galaxy in caches, so, you know, it's not just all in one place. So, if something happens, it's not all lost instantly. But the ideal was that they originally had to, like, not long before the Rift, the Crusade was, like, called by Theodia Astartes and a group of admech that, you know, work for personal Beckham Carl of Carl, were sent with this groups of mostly Sons of Dawn, mostly Black Templars or Sons of Dawn, to liberate a very particular planet, and they didn't know why they were liberating it at first, because they weren't aware of Primaris Space Marines, but the Primaris Space Marine cache was on this planet, and it had recently fallen into the hands of Chaos, or the planet had, and they didn't want the cache to fall into the hands of Chaos, and there was a fear that, you know, Chaos would have found it, potentially. So they went to the Crusade, liberated this world from the Great Rift formed, and sometime later, the Inquisitor that went to the Crusade was like, let's open up the cache and bring out these Primaris Marines. And then, not long later, they managed to make some contact with the Indomitus Crusade and Carl and stuff, as, you know, that managed to open up some communication between Imperial and Nihilus, but they're still trapped in Imperial Nihilus. Like, Great Rift is here. Imperial influences around here. They're up here. The Eye of Terror is like here. So I would expect a red and blue colour scheme to be more likely than a pure blue colour scheme, yeah. Depends on how it is or how big a Forge World it is. Rise and Metallica get away with it being Forge Empires. But I can see an other side of the eye Forge World being far removed. Yeah. I'm thinking it's someone who was at the beck and call of, like, Call to some extent. So it could be another Forge World, mind you. Because many people respect Carl. Returned have you. Yeek. Maybe I'll do red and blue on them. I don't know how big Forge... I know that Forge fleets are a thing, and that you get some, like... And they can be pretty, as like, almost as influential as, like, Forge Worlds and stuff. What do we want to do? I think what I want to do now is... Medjus Purple on the shoulder pad. From what I've read, the Minotaurs are getting really close to the FO part of Frump around and find out. Frump around, yeah! Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because they were originally created by, you know, the more corrupt parts of the High Lords of Terror. And, you know... Most of those High Lords of Terror got absolutely slammed by Gulliman. That being said, the Minotaurs still have a lot of relics, a lot of influence, and a lot of power. They are not pushovers, to be quite oversimplify it. Okay, let's try this brush. It's a shade brush. I think it should be good. Okay, how's this doing? Is there any stuff down there? Yeah, there's still a bit in the edges. Let's give it a good old shake. Good old shake. Yeah, by the way, if you use Citadel paints and stuff, I really recommend getting those Lamia and contrast mediums and stuff. They are absolutely amazing. They're basically the High Lords go first. They have absolute loyalty to them, so if Gulliman tells them to jump, they will ask how high. Yeah. It depends, but like the High Lords are not loyal to Gulliman, and many of them are trying to figure out how to, you know, screw Gulliman over. Citadel colours have been rebranded. Yeah, Warhammer colours, sorry. Although I don't have any other Warhammer colours. Even my new colours I bought have all been... Actually, wait a minute. I got Tolosaur Blue that was new. Yeah, my latest colours I bought are Citadel. And I bought them not long ago. Nice Major's purple. Love it. Yeet. Wubute doesn't already know they are trying to get a leg up on him. Yeah, I mean, I know Wubute already knows they're trying to get a leg up on him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he will have the Minotaurs on his side. Like, Wubute would easily beat the High Lords of Terror, but what side of the, you know, the issue the Minotaurs will end up being on is very difficult to know. Like, not all space means respect, Gulliman. That's definitely a true thing. Even within the chapters, not all space means respect, Gulliman. Like, so some chapters, like the marshals or chapter masters might
Cupcake, watch out, French is about to turn you into cat.
No, French Puff would never do that stuff again. There's an Adeptus Mechanicus group that uses turquoise, but no one that officially wears blue, yeah. Oh no, hi. Hi. Am I here? I'm alive. I don't know. I don't know. YouTube Studio, work with me. Oh no, I have to get Steam open. Okay, if you're epileptic, look away. I'm going to have to like sort out my camera again. Yes, YouTube Studio, run. There we go. Hi. Okay, free Bridger now. Hello, Severin. We're back. Yeah. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Connect. Connect. Calibrate. Connect. Disconnect. Connect. Okay, it doesn't want to work. Okay, I have to close it. This is the issue I have to go through. Free Bridger, open back up again. TITS, let's open you up. Twitch integrated throwing system. That's how you throw stuff at me. And put this into live chat mode. Actually, first pop out this. What the heck was that devious little crit at the bottom of the screen for a second? That's YouTube Studio opening up. Yeah, Free Bridger, work. Work, Free Bridger. Machine, don't stand against me. See, this is you guys trying to get into my machine. Praise the Omnisire. You need to pray to the Omnisire so my computer works better. Every like of this stream is another prayer for Omnisire. Okay, OBS, TITS. Mix it up and commands aren't going to work yet, so give it a moment. Stream avatars as well. Wait a few seconds. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? YouTube Studio, Free Bridger, mix it up, TITS. Set this monitor, log into here, view extension panel, OBS is open obviously, connect. Connect that. Then I need to just turn normal overlay on and off. Let's get this head pat moved out the way. Okay, this should all be working right now. Yeah, there you go. Hi. Praise the Omnisire. Okay, now... Oh, VTS Pog! That's what I'm missing. Yeah, Cuptle can't speak. VTS Pog isn't working. Okay, give it a few seconds. Give it a few seconds. And is it going to work now? I hope so.
Pog online poggers.
Yes! It's working. Now, are you working over here? Ungroup. Say command.
Test message.
Yeah! Okay, it's working. It's working. Don't worry, we're here. We're alive. Yeah! Look, no one's trying to silence your Cuptle. We're just having a computer crash. I knew I was forgetting something. Right, no, we don't need the percussive maintenance. Don't worry about it. Okay, Major's purple. Get that onto this. And then Major's purple. All up in you. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a bit more Major's purple. Oh, don't turn me into a cat. See, this is like you overworked my computer and it exploded. Ooh, the Forge Road code Hephaestus that used red and blue robes. It's been invaded by a shaky alliance of 2 different bands of orcs. Ooh. I think I might just have it that my Forge fleet likes to use blue. Because it just likes to do what it does. Okay, let's try this brush out. And get some skeleton horde on it. Skeleton horde, where are you? You're over here. Now this is one that needs to be shaken up. The world must know the truth. The world must know the truth. Sing a liturgy of well-being. Oh, praise to the Omnisire. Eat lots of good burgers. Feed the machine. Maybe I don't fed my computer enough cheesy burgers. Oh, I ate too much today, though. Okay, now we're going to put some stuff on the robes. Some of this. What? Why? Briar! Oh, hi, Briar! Did someone say burger? Yeah, burgers! Wait, are you raiding, Briar? Or not? I just literally had my computer crash. So, are you just here normally? Or is it a raid? Well, hello, Briar! Welcome to the stream. How you doing? No, you're just here. Oh, thank you for just appearing. We're going to be playing Darktide today. Not today, on this week, sorry. on what day? What day? Friday, yeah, at 1 BST. No idea what that is in any other time zone.
Cupcake him going protect you from Frenchy crazy.
Yeah. Oh, French. Why do you have a feud with French Puff right now? Oh, yeah. Go and check out Viafo. She's a cool VTuber too. She sometimes plays Warhammer. She's been playing Kingdom of Hearts. No, Kingdom Hearts. Not Kingdom of Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. And she sometimes plays... She plays Vermintide. And what's another game you play? I don't know. I forgot. Oh yeah, we're going to be playing Darktide. That's a game. You've played that on your channel before. There you go. If I play Warhammer, it's basically just Vermintide. Yay! But you know, that's enough. That's all you really need to play. Oh, my tummy. It's all grumbly grungy. Well, you not played it for a while. You usually play Kingdom Hearts. And what's that other game? I forget what it's called. The one with the wolves and stuff. Co-op game. Do. Yeah, I like how skeleton hard looks on these rags. It's cool. Okay, how do the shoulder pads? Oh, those shoulder pads are looking fancy. Fancy boys. Yeah. Be that. Yeah, you finished that. Oh, you beat the final boss. I never even realised. I should be paying more attention. So what do I need to do now? So now we've got most of the basic stuff done. We just got to do some wash off Agrax of Shade on the metals. Then we want to highlight the full white copper. Highlight with Wraithbone on these things. Put some Apothecary white shadows onto the white. Mephiston red here with a bit of highlight of pink horror. Already done the eyes of these dudes. That's pretty cool. And then I think highlight for blue here. Highlight for blue here. Do the bone here. Which I think I'm just going to throw some grey on it. So, no. Some Raycar flesh and some Agrax of Shade. I think that would be cool. No. Dude. Bob's challenging people. How come there's so much white on this place? Oh, it's someone I dry brush them. Obviously. I tried painting some little gold dots on these things, but you can't even tell that they've got golden dots there. Like, okay, if I do this, hopefully it will focus. There you go, you can see there's just tiny little golden dots on the shield. Yeah, you can barely see it normally. Silly. So, I think, let's get the Agrax of Shade. That's like the next major step in this scheme. I can do that with this brush. But I need to figure out what I want to do with the black. I'm thinking of maybe going over with Abaddon Black. Just to make them look nicer. Oh gosh. But Agrax of Shade. Agrex of shade. With this colour. Yeah. Water it down with water. Spin it with water. Give it a good old shake. Good old shake. How's that looking? Oh, there's some depth there.
I will protect you, my commander, from this blue intruder with shield.
Oh, I should get rid of you there. The blue intruder with shield. She's got a shield. You can't protect me. Don't. No. Let me a medium. No, I want some contrast medium. Yeah, maybe some contrast medium will help revitalize this a little bit. Not much, just a tiny bit. It's like adding milk into it. Agrax for what is this again? But just for metals, for gold and stuff. I think about what I want to do for the black of the armor though. Sarah doing one for jewel. Okay, how is this looking? Ah, it looks a lot nicer. Oh. Oh gosh, this brush. It got revitalized for like 5 seconds, but it's fine. We've thinned down the aggressive shade by adding contrast medium to it, but honestly, it needs to be spinned down, so it's fine.
What in the heck did you just do? You utter psychopath. I hope you never wanted that paint to be normal consistency after this.
Yeah, no, there's barely any aggressive shade left into it, so I don't care. And if you give it a good shake, it's fine. Like, I got a big pot of aggressive shade that's unopened as of yet. This aggressive shade I had barely any left in. It works. It's working. Don't diss the medal method until you realise. Look at this. It works. The contrast medium likes to go into the recesses as well. Oh, it's beautiful. That is the most PG version of that I could manage. Well, it's appreciated. No, it works perfectly. I don't know what you're on about. Also, this brush is dead. Yeah, should throw this brush away. Yeah, I don't know what you're on about. It's amazing. The blue shield mare.
I did it. This blue shielded mare is run away.
It's true. It's true. Oh, Mare, you chased her away. No. No, she's here. See, she's got 200,000 sprinkles. She's got 200,000 sprinkles. She's rich. You don't have to panic, I just enjoyed. I'm forwarding all my medical bliss to you. Oh, bills, not bliss. Oh. Nah. If you live in Britain, that must mean 0 bills, unless you go in private. And I'm not paying for you to go private, my goodness, dude. You can go public healthcare or nothing. Poop night at your service. Oh. Why you got panic? Look, I just revitalized some aggressive shade. Aren't you happy for me? The pot was almost dead. It barely shook with the paint anymore. And now it's working. We achieved beautiful things here today. Look, every single tutorial I've witnessed with Agrax of Shade says to mix it with some sort of a medium. Either contrast or Lamia. So, you know, might as well just get it over and done with in the pot. Also, I did actually the same to my Wraithbow medium, and look how smooth this white is on. I can't even tell how smooth that white is. Let me do this. Well, actually, no, I did purposely dutchy up for white, but it's not chalky at all. It's not chalky at all. And that's even multiple layers trying to get that blooming black circle done correctly. It's like the same for this. If I do this, it should focus on my hand. Yeah. I did put some Apothecary White on it, but my goodness, it was really smooth. The Apothecary White is making it look a bit worse. No, I told you it was. I did say I'm putting technical. I put in for contrast medium in it. Oh gosh, my hair. I'm molting, so getting my hair everywhere because it's hot again. Also, I'm stressed because, you know, family members or close family relatives. That's the one to put it at. Being very ill and dying all the time. Not fun. Come on, hair, go away. Yeah. Gosh, took the entire model with it then. A magic. Please see previous statement about not knowing it was Agrax. Oh gosh. I did say Agrax as well. This is what you get for only paying half attention to these very, very high speed paint streams.
Let Aisha bless them.
Aisha, yeah, Aisha's amazing. We love Aisha. There we go. We did that one. Darn it, more hair. Actually, it's the same hair. It just keeps sticking to everything. There we go. So there we go. I'm sure you did, but I clearly didn't register it. Yeah, I mean, that's not my fault. That's not going to hold up in a court of law when you try forwarding your medical bills to me. Also, honestly, out of all of my paint purchases, I think getting the mediums is one of my best purchases so far. I did purchase something else, actually. I purchased some Fulgrim Pink because I thought it would be fun to have a different pink colour. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I think it'll be fun. I don't know where the Fulgrim Pink's gone. I think it's in here, actually. Yeah. It's a really bright colour. Really bright, light pink compared to Pink Horror, which is a lot darker. It's very hard to tell what colour, it's going to be when it goes down. Like with this, I've, like, the Catachan? Flesh Shade? Not Flesh Shade, Catachan Skin Tone, whatever it is. I put that on the head of this. I was like, it's actually better than what I predicted it would be like. But it was still felt dried out and not that good, even with the Crestoris on it. So I ended up putting Guilliman Flesh Shade and Reichland Flesh Shade both on it. And then I brought out the brighter tones using Cadian Flesh Shade. And that was, honestly, how to get the best out of it. With a darker skin tone, though, I found that going for grey, Administratum grey in the eyes, rather than white, is a lot nicer. Because otherwise it just makes the eyes look too bright. But if you're going with lighter skin tones, like this dude, I tried going for grey with him because white always feels like it's a bit too bright, but it just felt too dark next to his skin shade, so I ended up going for white anyway. Do I even win any duel? I don't. Yeah, I have won duels in the past. Don't worry about it.
Do I even win any duel? I don't remember to win one. It's all rigged.
It's all rigged. It's all rigged. Don't worry about it. You have won duels before. Although I do think you're generally on a, you've never reached a very long winning streak. I can give you that much. Yeah, that definitely needs another tone on it. So I'll just go with this for now. Admech doesn't work with this. You could try doing.
I'm sure I will forget all these skin tips by the time I come to do anything with suitable fleshy bits. Admech doesn't work for this.
Yeah. Unless you do biologists. Some biologists, Admech, they got quite a lot of fleshy flesh. Although if you're doing Admech flesh, even biologist flesh, you generally want to go for more desecrated skin. So the same way you do zombies or vampires or whatever, or corpses. Oh, you do have some. You do have a Cybernetica. Although I've never seen anyone use. And you got the Servitus. So again, it's desecrated flesh. It's always desiccated flesh with Admech. Generally, if you're doing flesh though, you always want to go for lighter skin tones, even when you're doing the darker skin tones, unless you're doing something like Space Marines or somebody who's healthy. Like, if you're doing somebody from like a Hive World or somebody colour scheme for like Guardsmen, Hive World Guardsmen, you want to go for paler colour schemes because they're unhealthy. Yeah, so even with the darker skin tones, you want to try giving that sort of very pale, unhealthy thing to them. Do you want to go for like, start very dark, but then just like keep lightening it up with more greyish tones or yellowish tones? To give this idea of someone who's very sick, very unhealthy, probably doesn't produce enough melanin. But for your commanders, you can go for darker skin tones.
Desiccated or desecrated, make up your mind. Otherwise I'm gonna send the Chaos Dwarfs to the poles to make Christmas ornaments again.
I don't think I said desecrated. I thought I said desiccated both times. But it was meant to be desiccated. I mean, it is kind of desecrated as well. But yeah, for commanders though, you like for guardsmen, especially if you're trying to go for the Hive World sort of schemes, or like from Holy Terror, you want to go for, you know, generally go for more darker skin tones. For two reasons. One, they're going to be older. Two, they're going to be a lot healthier. And three, they're going to generally be a lot more tanned anyway, because they're going to have spent much of like the past 30-40 years in the sun, or getting like baked by plasma and artillery and stuff. So even like Valhallan regiments would generally have darker skinned commanders in law than the other soldiers. It's fun. But yeah. I'm gonna go for very pale, very ill people for your general troops. Not always, like Cadians are generally going to be more healthy. Catachan guys, well, they're going to generally be healthier as well. And they're going to generally be darker because they're going to be a lot more tanned anyway. From, you know, spending a lot of time in the sun without any skin protection. There we go. Desiccated like coconuts. Yeah! Commander Cupton doesn't want to Poop Knight to be too powerful, so I got debuffed. Yeah, that's what's happening. No! Yeah. If you can tell, I've been, well, between listening to the books and stuff, which often has a lot of, you know, stuff talking about the health of the characters, because most people in the Imperium are very unhealthy. But also just been like trying to learn how to, you know, paint skin tones better of various things. I think he's one of the best faces I've done so far, though. Before him, I think this was the best face I've done so far. Yeah. And then you've got things like Falcons. Oh. Wait, is it Night Lords or is it Corvus? Night Lords, or is it the Raven Guard who generally have the skin of the Space Marines is kind of really, really pallid. And whenever you, like, anyone who becomes one of their Space Marines always becomes more pallid afterwards. I thought it was one of those two, both. Then you got Falcon, where it turns your skin very, very dark, but like ash. With the, well, Gene Seed of Falcon, so salamanders. Ultramarines, I believe, are generally a lot more tan. But that's generally because they're meant to be inspired by Greek and Romans and stuff. More of a Raven Guard than the Night Lords, but both go paler. Yeah. If you're doing Chaos Flesh, you generally want to go with more green colours. To represent how the flesh is dying. Or you want to go for red colours, it depends. How you want to go for like this idea of them being corrupted and unnatural shades to them. I generally want to go for a mixture of both. Like, you'll have some areas that are much more pink or red and more areas that are much more green. Rather than trying to go for something that's uniform. Night Lords! Iron Warriors and stuff. The less corrupt ones, you probably want to go for more... Like, while they might be corrupted, you want to go for a more unified thing to show that it's a bit less corruption. But they're still probably going to look very ill. For various reasons. Most of them probably don't eat and drink and sleep very well compared to most Space Marines. Okay, what do we want to do? Sons of Dawn. They don't have anything with their skin tone going on. But yeah. Black Templars, you generally want to go for a greater range of skin tones, though, to represent that they, you know, being recruited from various different planets and stuff. I think Imperial Fist also have the same thing. Like, they've got recruits from Necromunda and stuff as well. Dot, 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 dot. Right, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's warm today. Maybe I need to get my air conditioner working again, I think. Maybe that's why my computer crashed. Is it too warm? No, it's not too warm. Okay, let's get some Fulbright Copper on these guys. Fulbright Copper, I really like that as a highlight of gold. I think I might have gone a bit too heavy with the Agrax shade on them, to be honest. Because it's now making it look more bronzy than it is gold. Well, that's fine. I think generally when you're painting Space Marines, you don't actually, unless you're painting for First Company, you don't actually want to put a bunch of gold on them. Because most Space Marine chapters will only have like golden Aquillas and stuff on the First Company veterans. The others generally don't. Like, I think Ultramarines, they have like multiple colours. I think they've got one where they have green, one where it's yellow, one where it's gold. I think they even have a red one as well. You know, for different companies. And like what your shoulder trims and stuff will be. My guys go for gold because I just think that's fun. Oh gosh, they gotta be careful there. Don't want to get onto the shoulder pad. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dun, dun. Okay, so now I need to paint. And paint. Do the edges. Oh gosh, it's much lighter at the back. Actually, that makes sense because it's got to be taking a lot of fire from the front, doesn't it? So it's got to be heat and stuff from the wind and from the blasts. It's not turning its back to the enemy. Although this is just because I put more aggressive shade on the front from the back, I think. Inadvertently. Thinking maybe though. Been looking at different models. I'm thinking maybe with the metals I need to like go with a non-metallic highlight on some of them maybe. To get better variation in them. Yeah, ultimate colours have different colours for trim. Second company uses gold. Oh, second company is gold. Second company gold is used most commonly for art at the moment, most likely due to titles. I thought the first company was. What's the first company colour? I think is it the third company that's green? Maybe. To be fair, gold looks a lot nicer than like the bright yellows. I know that they used bright yellow originally, but that's partly just because of how difficult it was to paint gold. And especially make it look good in photos. A lot of heavy metal style is the way it is because it's all about trying to make it look good in photos of a time period and in magazines. With rather limited technology. There you go. So, I think gold just looks really good on Space Marines in general. First uses white. Wait, first uses white. Oh. And green is a fourth. Oh, green is a fourth. Uriel Fantas is their captain. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Which is a yellow one then? Is that the third one? I think second company gold is used a lot in art as well because Calgar, in most of his art, uses the gold colours. And equally in the very first... Oh yeah, all of the accents of first company were white. Ah, silly first company get...
Oh yeah, all the accents on the first company were white. Ha, silly first company, get bugged and mugged in your polar fortress.
Yeah, that's what happened. The first company all got slaughtered in the polar fortress in the First Tyrannic War. And as a result, I think it was the second company took center stage in most of the art and stuff of the time period. So this was 4th, 5th edition and stuff like that. I am in so much pain, oh my goodness, it hurts. Third is red. Oh, 6 uses mixed yellow and orange, okay. crazy stuff. Maybe dawn yellow would be good. Like just very thin down dawn yellow for highlights and stuff. I need to, what's it called? Study up on my ultramarine colour schemes. I'm planning to paint my ultramarine firstborn army. I was planning to do the old heavy metal style of the yellow, of the bright blue and bright yellow. I'm not sure if I want to do that or anything. I want to go for like try doing contrasty styles. How do the purple shoulders look? They're not looking too bad. Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody wants to die. Everybody. There we go. Oh. Templar don't have a fixed colour schemes for all of their stuff. They've got some guidelines, but they're only guidelines. I should study up on your Crimson First colours and cooler boys in blue. No, but I have to do the Ultramarine Firstborns because partly because I got Tyrannic War Veterans and I've got the Honor Guard, Ultramarine Honor Guard guys, the old fine cast resin models. You know, we need to do them in the Ultramarine colours. Victrix Honor Guard, that's it. Which, as far as I'm aware, Victrix Honor Guard aren't just a first company unit. They are often also the Honor Guard to various captains and stuff. It's whacking that. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to BRB right after doing this because my tummy is really wanting me to run away. And I think I'll get my air conditioner set up. I was saying time because it's getting ridiculously warm in here. Yeah. Oh no. Victrix aren't termies though. Kind of prohibits them from being first company by default. No. First company often wears Tacitus armor. There's multiple reasons. So while the Ultramarines do have enough Terminator armor to equip the entire first company in Terminator armor, they don't. There's multiple reasons of this. One of the biggest reasons is that most battles don't require Terminator armor, and as a result there's no point risking losing and damaging the Terminator armor in those battles. Because even for the Ultramarines, it's still very expensive and costly to repair Terminator armor. In fact, it's very rare that first companies will deploy entirely in Terminator armor. The main exception to this is Imperial Fists, who love their Terminator plate, And who's the other one? Dark Angels. And I think both of them, it's not just their first company that uses Terminator plate. I think other companies also use it. Although, since the rise of Graphis Army and the Centurion armor, the Imperial Fists have been making more use of that over just using Terminator armor. Yeah, it's probably a bad omen to fully deploy them. But not even when
I feel like they don't deploy the whole first company cause it's probably a bad omen. See aforementioned Polar Fortress.
Yeah. Even when they do deploy the first company, though, they'll very rarely be in Terminator plate. They'll sometimes be in Terminator plate. I don't think it's just the first company that uses Terminator armor, though. See Captain Agaman, I think is called. Who is the Leviathan Terminator commander. Like, that's who officially he is. He uses Terminator armor, and his veterans from his company also wear Terminator armor quite regularly. I think he was also the captain of the Blackfleet ship. Oh, he's the first company commander. Oh, was he always? Because wasn't he an earlier commander? One of the other company, or did he get promoted to it with Leviathan and stuff? Ah. Okay, but that's another point into first company doesn't always wear Terminator armor. Because, you know, not everyone in the Leviathan set has Terminator armor. Wait, no, the Assault Blackfleet also had Terminators in it. So maybe he was always the first company commander. I thought Saito Sicarius was the first company commander for a while. Or was he the second? No, he was the second, wasn't he? Because he was with Titus No, Titus didn't replace him. It was Agaman replaced him. The other Agaman, or whatever his name is, on Space Marine 2, and then Titus replaced him. And there was somebody else before as well. Yeah, because coming back this year, Orcs must be so. The Orc players are happy. And we finally got rules for him. We don't know his points cost yet, but we know his rules, and they are decent enough. They're decent enough. Okay, there we go. We've added some highlighty to it, so it's not just all one golden colour. And we've added some shade to it. So now I'm going to just wash this brush, and then I'm going to have to BRB for a little bit as I run to the little cupcake room. Kato was second, yeah. After Titus was imprisoned,
Oi, Bailey, use as beautiful as the day I lost you. I hate you with every fiber of my being.
Yeah. Okay, starting soon. Started BRB. Here we go. BRB. Hello! Sorry. The air conditioner decided to be in Fahrenheit for some reason. I don't know Fahrenheit. What's it trying to do to me? Oh my goodness. Fahrenheit is evil. But how is everyone? Pretty sure Yarek's biggest fan is Gaskell. Currently not, honestly. Have you seen the recent lore for him? Like what happened to Yarek? It was Gaskell who smashed him to the ground and like left him for dead. And Gaskell didn't even care at that point. It was like, you're weak, old man. You're weak. I don't care about you anymore. Converting cola to cupcakes. I'm not even doing that. It's not how it works. Oh, maybe I should put Stormhost Silver as a highlight on this. Maybe that would be cool. Ooh. Maybe. Do you want to try that? Stormhost Silver, where are you? You're over here. You're as cool as do. How's it looking? No. Not a big fan at the moment. Oh, that's nice and cool. Can you hear the air conditioner in the background? I hope not. But if you can hear a buzzing noise, it's just the air conditioner. I think Gas wants to fight Yarek with armies in single combat, so left him alive to recover. Based on the thing, it didn't sound like that. The Warhammer community post about it. I wonder if they're going to do another campaign. Actually, they must be doing, because they did that for Leviathan, didn't they? A big campaign where player battles, posting your results. And it influences like the course of Leviathan and stuff. I wonder if they'll do something like that. I think they could have like a major campaign battle somewhere. Maybe even a battle report. Okay, how does the silver look on this now? I don't like it in the end. Not very nice. We can keep the highlights that we put in, but no, not a big fan. What do we want to do? We want to do the Wraithbone. Yeah, we can do the Wraithbone. I keep trying to make progress on the Hierophant, and when I'm doing it, I'm just like, I'm suffering. Just focus on one small bit at a time. And just like, put Bob Ross quotes into your head. Just happy little carapace plates. Happy little guns. Okay, here's a Wraithbone. Mixing. Player-driven narrative between
orcs and Imperial Guard. Can't wait for the Dark Eldar to win in the upset of the Millennium.
They've done this before, actually. With these narrative campaigns and stuff. Player-driven narrative campaigns on Armageddon. I think each time, technically, the orcs actually won. but not enough to take Armageddon. Just devastate it or not be kicked off immediately. With current Dark Elder win rates though, I mean, they potentially could win in the end. I just put focus on the mem side of these narrative deciding campaigns where even the winning side doesn't win. Yeah, that's funny. Isn't that kind of how Angron ended up at Armageddon though? Like the Chaos just did really well in one of the campaigns. Who would play BFG? Nobody. There we go. Yeah. Pretty sure something in fantasy was meant to be Chaos losing and Chaos won the campaign and G-Dubs was just like fine, but no. They kind of do that. It's like the Eye of Terror campaign, 13th Black Crusade, was meant to be Chaos gets basically stuck in a standstill. Meaning that ultimately Chaos lost. But, you know, G-Dubs... That didn't work for G-Dubs.
I have returned. Again. I'm having a hard time with my attention span today. Goldfish moment.
Ah. Well, we're still painting. We've done some gold today. And some highlighty stuff. And some shoulder paddy stuff. And we've been also doing the tabards. I thought the fantasy one though for End Times campaign was actually meant to be Chaos loses due to the campaign. But GW wanted Chaos to win, so you know, End Times could actually End Times. But instead Chaos lost the actual narrative campaigns. Like not even close. I think it was like absolute stomp. And I think there's actually two canicities to it now. You've got the Chaos gets stomped, which I think they actually did write some stuff about it. And this includes like Archeon absolutely getting stomped by Ironhide and stuff. And then you've got the Chaos loses. My gold paint doesn't stick, so I can't use it. Your gold paint doesn't stick. Oh! So, do you use Primus, French Puff? Also, magnets don't stick to gold. So, sometimes you'll find that if you don't have... if your paint doesn't stick, paint it one colour. If you don't have, like, a spray primer or anything... If you have like Citadel colours or anything like that, try finding one that's either labelled as a primer or a base colour. paint it with that colour first and then put your gold paint. Once it's dried, put your gold paint on top of it. And that should work. My gold is so bling it stays magnetised. That's not gold, Talan, if it's magnetised. That's fake. You got scammed. Okay, so we did all of that. That's nice. I paint gold prices for magnetic cheese. What? All you have to do is put some iron gratings in your cheese. Fool's gold is magnetic, right? Pyrite? I'm not sure if it is. Pyrite. Yeah, it's an iron mineral with sulfur in it. Yeah, so it's magnetic. Okay, what do I want to do now? I want to put some rake off flesh here. Let's do the apothecary white. Pyrite is so pretty. It can be pretty. It's also cheap. The artistic outfit. I don't think it technically counts as a gemstone. Should be more valuable than gold, in my opinion. If I made all the rules, I'd create an artificial pyrite sorted. That would be very hard to achieve. Pyrite is very, very, very common. Most things where they create an artificial shortage is where it's not common to begin with. And it's usually manufactured things, so it could be really, really common if they wanted it to, i.e. lab synthetic diamonds. But you know, if we try to make sure it's not too common. So it's a sunny, beautiful day, but the government found a way to hoard them? No. Sunny, beautiful days are incredibly rare to land. In part because sunny and beautiful just don't go in the same sentence unless you're just saying a sunny day is not a beautiful day. Because, you know, the best days are overcast and windy and wet. There we go. By the way, Talan, you missed us showing all the games played. You want to know what the third most played faction is, Talan? Top is Space Marines. Second is Necrons, of all things. And third is, can you guess, Talan? Can you guess? Your Joe Mama. No, it's Tyranids. It's Tyranids.
Pyrite can be expensive if it's an inclusion in lapis lazuli. Very pretty, makes the dark blue of lapis like a sparkly night sky.
Yeah. There we go. So what's left on the models other than just neating up the black areas of the armor? We did the shoulder pads, we did the tabards, we've done the gold and the bronzes. I think it's just the blue left. Yeah, well, let's do this bone though. Swing over here. Where's my Vacor flesh? Yeah, I want to go with that. The third most played faction, but if they counted every Tyrannid player twice, no. I think the fourth one might have been Tau. The least, can you guess what the least played faction was? It was Agents, it wasn't even close. I think second least played was Death Watch. And also Gene Stealers were near the bottom. You'd even let me guess, yeah. But there's no point even letting you guess, it's too obvious. Gene Stealers are very close to the bottom. Like twice as much as Death Watch. Which is still like, what is it? 7 times as much as, over 7 times as much as Imperial Agents. Most sat around the 5 to 6,000 mark of games of the last couple of months. Tyranids were at the 9,000 mark, Necrons at 13,000, Tower 8,000, Space Marines at a ridiculous 16,000. How many Imperial Agents were it for Tyranids? Around 30? 30 times as many? Aldari were surprisingly low on the amount of games, I think. The Aldari had by far the lowest win rate, while Necrons had by far the highest. Okay, where's my Agrex of Shade now? Where did I put it? 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 It's over here. Okay, what do I want to paint next? That's a big question. Blue. That's the next on the agenda. Let's first neaten up all the ultramarine blue with McFag blue. Like where the gold is. Oh gosh, that's not good.
Do you remember when Aldari had a 75% win rate? Pepperidge Farm remembers. How the mighty have fallen, deserved honestly.
Yeah, probably. Necrons at about 45%. Aldari need to be buffed. Now, Aldari might be skewed by the fact that you're going to have more new players playing them. And also, recently they released a bunch of Corsair stuff, and as cool as it is not competitive. Or not very competitive, compared to a lot of factions. Oh, I need to do that. Why do I want that? I wanted it green, I believe. There we go. Brush this. And then we just want to highlight with Powder Blue and Baharov Blue. Although I've not done the Chain Blade on this in Stormhost Silver. And reminding, I've not done Fire in Stormhost Silver, so I'll probably get both of them done next. What I'm remembering. Secret destroy. There we go. Secret destroyer. We're gonna burn you. We're gonna make ya whole again. We're gonna break you. We're gonna burn you. Gonna make ya whole again. There we go. There we go. Yeah, while I'm remembering, let's do the Stormhost Silver on the blade here. And in these things. So Stormhost Silver's here. We're just using it earlier, so we don't need to shake it up again. The Eldari are amazing. Do you think it makes sense? I'm thinking of lore for my Space Marines. Do you think it makes sense that when they do the Crusade, most of the worlds they capture, they will either become fortress worlds that they retain control of, because, you know, the Sons of Dawn, or they become... they get handed over to Adeptus Mechanicus. Or do you think it would make more sense for them to be handed over to, like, a following rogue trader or something? Secret destroy. I'd have to divvy it up. Too many in one basket of administratum is going to get foggy. And to be fair, they are heavily separated from the rest of the Imperium. I'm not actually sure what they would do with the captured worlds. Like, other than, like, some of them would definitely be turned into Fortress worlds, where the Templars would do much of the where the Crusaders would do most of their recruiting from. And used to, like, defend the captured systems. I imagine my Crusaders would actually care about, like Templars typically don't care what happens to a planet once they've captured it and liberated it. Like, is it going to stay part of the Imperium? Maybe. Maybe not. They don't care. They just move on. But my guys would probably care. Like, they'd want to see it rebuilt and put into proper service of the Imperium. Okay, there we go. That's nice. So what have we even painted today? We did the tabards. We've highlighted and shaded the gold. Actually, maybe the gold does look better with a silver highlight to it. Oh gosh, that's all. Maybe the gold does look better with a bit of a silver highlight. Compared to... Looks very similar on the camera. You can't really pick it up very well. We'll bring them both in. Can it focus on them? It can, just about. Yeah, maybe a silver highlight works. I guess I can continue that. We've done some experimenting. We've done for shoulder pads properly. We've done for tabards and purity seals. Some bits of the gold. Oh yeah, so what's left is leather. Maybe that's what I should do next. I should focus on the leather straps. With some Crestaris Knight. I think that's the last thing we'll do, and then we've just basically got the blues left. Actually, you know what? While I'm remembering, there's a purity seal that needs some of this on it. Some Mephiston red. Is it on you? No, it's on you. There we go. That's nice. How do you put some pink horror highlighting on that later? If they're fleet-based Crusaders, would they say if they're in the area long enough to make it worth building a fortress? Yes. So while they're fleet-based Crusaders, there's a few reasons. One, they don't want to get caught up, like, going forward and the enemy coming in from behind from where they've already liberated. What we have to remember that in Imperium Nihilus, and they're quite disconnected from the rest of the Imperium, so they can't rely on, like, just getting in guard reinforcements. And even if they do want to, like, recruit guard from the local planets that they captured, it's then they still need to equip them, they still need to train them, they still may need to make sure they're prepared. You love my painting cupcake. Thank you, Douglas. Let's use some warpstone glow. So while yes, in theory, that's what the god should be fair for. It's like they can't exactly have the god just do that if they've got no god to have access to. They've got their serfs who fight alongside them, but they can't just leave most of their serfs on a planet. Yeah, it's not an elite trained guard force. Some of them are elite. But yeah, they got the serfs, which is basically a guardsman force, but they fight alongside, they're part of a crusade. If they leave all their serfs behind, then who's gonna be the, you know, who's they gonna throw into the meat grinder? They don't have that many serfs. You know, they don't have, it's like, they have millions of serfs, but, you know, they've got, it would take tens of millions to defend a planet and to train up the soldiers. So what they do, they stay, after liberating a civilized world, they stay long enough to build a few chapel what they do, they build fortress monasteries and stuff. They'll stay I mean, they are Sons of Dawn as well. I kind of want to highlight that. So they'll stay long enough to build some fortress monasteries, teach them about the light of the Emperor, and then train up another for guardsmen. On top of this, it's Black Templar will usually stay on a planet long enough to build a fortress monastery on the planet. And a single one. They'll build a single fortress monastery, and in theory this is meant to keep imperial authority on the planet and to defend the planet. But really all they use it for is temporarily to just recruit new troops, and eventually it just becomes forgotten. But yeah, they use them to recruit new space marines and to recruit serfs and stuff. So they use the fortress monasteries on liberated planets to replenish their serfs, their space marine numbers and all sorts. But I'm thinking is my guys stay long enough to actually to help properly rebuild the planet and build more than just one fortress monastery. If it depends, they either want, if they're turning it into a fortress world, they'll stay a lot longer. If they're just going to hand it over to like a rogue trader, the Inquisition or the Admech or something, they'll probably just build a single fortress monastery. But the idea is that they're trying to bring this region of space fully in the Emperor's light. And keep it in the Emperor's light. Oh, the other thing about them is that they're all about reclaiming like lost relics and archaeotech. So while they're on a planet, they'll fight on a planet for various things, but once they've fully liberated the planet, they'll stay not just long enough to rebuild it, but to look for any ancient lost technologies or relics. And they're going to be very, very... What's the word? You know, leaving no stone unturned with it. Also, I imagine not the entire fleet will stay behind. They'll leave like a section of a fleet and then later it will rejoin the main crusade. So the fleet will stay, the entire fleet will probably stay long enough to fully replenish and bring in reinforcements maybe from previous planets if liberated. And then it will move, then most of it will move on, leaving just a token force of space marines and serfs and tech priests and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking about this. Clocking out after the slot visit. Oh my gosh, you're still here. I thought you clocked out ages ago, Brian. You need to sleep. It's like, what time is it? It's like 4 in the morning for you or something stupid. Go get some sleep sprayers. Look at that bright green tubes. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Oh my god. Oh yeah, because my clock's moved and stuff. Yeah, but still. You got those gamer hours. You got them gamer hours. Oh. But still. Sleep, Spike. Get some rest. Get some food. Make sure you're hydrated. There we go. Very good. Very nice. Okay, so we've got done some decent painting today. I think I'll try doing some highlighting. I didn't get to do my new tech. Actually, I did do some. I've been using the contrast paints and, you know, thinning with mediums and not just water, which is honestly amazing. I tried the new silver on gold, which actually, I'm starting to like it. I didn't like it at first, but, you know, starting to like it now. I like this yellow arm, though. It's really nice looking. Oh, but where are we? We've almost finished these 3 dudes. I'll probably finish them before the next stream, hopefully anyway. Oh, I need to get my own sleeping hours into good array so that I can actually wake up at decent times and be active. But thank you for coming to the stream today, everyone. It was nice having you. So big love hearts to you. Is there anyone who's live right now? How's we doing? Maybe not. But yeah, well, just big love hearts to you. Thank you for coming to the stream. Our dudes, they're looking pretty good. They're not finished yet. We've got to do the black highlights on the armor and, you know, fix up the areas where we've been going out of the lines, of, as it were. Blue highlights on the gun. Add some dirt and some grime. Add some highlights to this. Add some highlight to that. And that's... Or maybe add some highlight to the bone as well. Yeah. But that's basically it. So, thank you. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to others and vice versa. Work hard but play harder. Eat good food. Sleep well. Dream of cupcakes but don't eat the cupcakes. They're friends, not food. And don't forget to like the stream. Goodbye, everyone. Smash! Yeah.